Good morning, everyone. Don Walker here. Before I thought about doing this video, I just really had some thoughts that compelled me, and I always do, that leads me to making videos like this, and I just express myself. I really thought about being who you are and versus, what you're told to do. See, a lot of people, they grow up being told that they need to go to school, they need to get good grades, they need to go to college, they need to find a good spouse, one hopefully that makes good income with a good label in society, of course, right? They need to buy that nice house with the white picket fence because that's the American dream. And there's nothing wrong with all those things. If you're watching this video and you have that, you may be happy. But see, I found the problem with that because when you grow up and you are told what to do and told what's right and you believe that, really you're not really being who you are. See, I have a life example and life lesson that really kind of made me really think about this, because I actually was able to achieve the results that most people want, but it didn't quite give me what I wanted. And what I mean by that is that several years ago, I had a job where I was really looking for a six-figure income. I really desired to have a six-figure income. And I had a lot of bills at the time. I'm married with 3 children. My wife, who's standing in the back right now, making a lot of noise. But I really desired having that, to the point where I spoke to my regional manager, the business that I was working at the time, and said that if I could not find a way to make a six-figure income, which I really needed, I would either have to go back to school and get my MBA, or I would have to figure something else out. Well, something happened later on. Not too much longer, I lost that job. Go figure. But what I realized, that was a breaking point, because I did find something. It wasn't really what I wanted to do. I started having to knock door to door because it's what I had. At the time, my affiliate marketing online wasn't where it is now. It isn't, I wasn't in the right mindset. I just was focusing on making money, on selling stuff on eBay. All I really wanted to do was just sell stuff and make money. I really didn't want to step up to the plate and really be a leader. So that's just not where I was at the time. Although in the offline sector, I was a leader, I was a trainer, I was a manager, but not on the internet. It was just a different type of concept for me. But not too much longer after that, I was able to really generate a six-figure income. I mean, I really just committed to the process. I stayed, knocking door to door. I worked my way into a telecommunications company, Fortune 500 one, seriously corporate company. I cut my hair, because before I even did that, I had long hair. I looked very clean cut. And I was really doing what people said what I should do. You should cut your hair, you should dress up nice, you should look, more presentable, because it's going to give you that kind of job. And I thought that's what I needed to do, but I realized I wasn't really being myself. And people do a lot of things and make a lot of sacrifices just for the sake of money or income or jobs or promotions in their companies, and there's nothing wrong with that. You do what you have to do. But there will be a point in your life when you start to really rationalize and think, who am I? Why do I do what I do? Where is it getting me? And you may still just spend the rest of your life, doing that and not really facing the music. And I'm here today to say that and encourage you that you need to be who you are. You need to be yourself, because for one, the world needs more people to be unique and be themselves and not clones. But the lesson that I learned was that even after generating that type of income and lifestyle, I wasn't happy with myself, because I did what I thought people told me that I needed to do versus telling myself who I needed to be and who I needed to, really become as a person. And once I realized that, a lot of breakthroughs have actually been happening. I've had a lot of breakthroughs in even the last 6 months with my life, being who I am, because the goal in life is to really express who you were meant to be. And everyone has been put on this earth to be that and to fulfill that. That's my personal belief. There are stories where people, for example, a story of a guy who was an engineer for his whole life. He was at the point where he was able to retire. He was in his 60s, and everyone's like, speech, 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 speech. And he was like, no. And then he finally, because he was going to retire anyway, he finally stepped up and gave a speech and said, if I had to go back again, I don't think that I would have been a mechanical engineer, or an engineer in this case, an engineer, for this much time. I think maybe I would have taken more risk. I would have made more investments in myself. And I really would have looked deep in myself to find out who I really am. Because now, at this point in my life, that's what I'm left with. Now I really have to find out who I am. And I'm in my late 60s. Now that's the tragedy. Some people in that position may be happy, but the problem is the ones that aren't. And I know that's a reality, and I realize that I could be in that same predicament, and I don't want to be. So being who you are versus being what you need to do or what you're told you need to do is the dilemma. Meaning people get online and they want to find a coach, they want to find a leader, they want to follow. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're learning. But the question you need to ask yourself is, if you're in business and you're following someone, you know that you have to sell. And you know that sometimes some of the positions you find or some of the businesses you're involved with calls for being a leader. What and who would join your business knowing that if you are only focusing on following people and not focusing on leadership skills, who would want to join you? I'm just being honest, and I told myself this because I was subjected to being a follower as well. You know, I want to find the best coach. I want to find the best follower. But I said to myself, it's me. It's my responsibility to be the best leader that I can find to be for someone else. Because if you ask yourself the question, who would join you? Who would join your business? Who would listen to you? It's only going to force you to dig deep to really fix the things that you may need to change within yourself. I just wanted to share that with you today for a matter of inspiration. I'm still in a work in progress myself, but if I'm open to realize that things that I need to change within myself are very obvious and apparent, then I know that other people out there as well can benefit from it. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day, and you definitely deserve the best life that it can provide.